Ladies and gentlemen, sit down. Sit down. I got something to say. And tonight is for the ladies. Now listen, this one right here, this one's special. Because I need you to hear me with your heart, not just your ears. Ladies, listen to me and hear me good. You want to know when the game changes? It's when you finally wake up and remember who the hell you are. That's when the whole energy shifts. That's when a man, any man, starts feeling that loss deep in his gut. Because see, a man might walk away from a woman. He might think he moving on. He might even think he upgraded. But he can't ever forget the woman who stood tall, knew her worth, and refused to let her value be determined by whether or not he stayed. You know what happens too often? A good woman gets caught up. She starts shrinking herself to make room for a man who barely even sees her. She compromises. She forgives what should have been walked away from. She accepts excuses, lies, cold silences, and half love, all because her heart wants to believe he'll get it together. She starts to confuse her loyalty with her identity, and before she knows it, she forgets what she brings to the table while trying to prove she even deserves a seat. I've seen women with a glow in their spirit and power in their walk start doubting themselves because one man couldn't see the blessing he had. I've watched queens turn into question marks, trying to figure out what they did wrong. But let me break something down for you tonight. You didn't do nothing wrong. That man just wasn't ready. He wasn't built to handle a woman like you. And you shouldn't have to crumble so he can feel tall. You got to stop negotiating your value. Stop looking for validation from someone who can't even validate himself. Know your worth. I don't mean just say it. I mean own it. I mean walk in it, breathe in it, dress in it, speak in it. When you know who you are, baby, you don't have to chase. You don't have to cry. You don't have to convince. You attract everything meant for you. A man respects what respects itself. And don't let nobody tell you different. When a woman stands firm on her standards, when she draws a line and says, you either come correct or not at all, a real man either rises up or walks out. And let me tell you something, if he walks out, that's a blessing too. Because any man who can't handle your strength, your honesty, your love, and your expectations was never supposed to hold your heart in the first place. Knowing your worth means you stop begging. You stop waiting on a text. You stop hoping the apology comes. You stop trying to fix what broke itself. You pick yourself up. You wipe those tears. You look in the mirror and remind yourself, you are the prize. You are not somebody's option. You are not a backup plan. You are not a stepping stone until he finds better. You are the better. And here's the funny part. The moment you reclaim your self-respect, the moment you stop caring about his approval, that's the moment he starts looking at you different. That's when his mind starts rewinding every memory, every smile, every moment he took for granted. And now that you're no longer begging, no longer calling, no longer showing up, whenever he snaps his fingers, he's sitting there thinking, hey, I lost her. But right then, you ain't looking back. You're busy remembering how powerful it feels to choose yourself. You're back in love with your peace. You're done sacrificing your sanity for someone who ain't even bring you stability. That's what happens when you know your worth. You stop auditioning for roles you already mastered. So I say this to every woman listening. Reclaim your crown. Pick it up, dust it off, and place it back on your head where it belongs. No man, no situation, no heartbreak can ever take from you what God already put in you. And when you walk in that truth, baby, trust me, the world and every man in it going to have no choice. Ladies, I need you to understand this loud and clear. Access is power. And when you give a man access to you, your heart, your time, your energy, your body, you're handing him a privilege. That ain't free, that ain't guaranteed, that ain't owed, that's earned. But too many women are letting folks stick around in VIP with general admission behavior. They ghost you, disrespect you, replace you, and somehow still got the key to the door they walked out of. It don't work like that. See, when a man thinks he can always come back, when he believes no matter how he treats you, you'll still be there, guess what? He never learns. He don't reflect. He don't regret. Why would he? You still answering, you still showing up, you still available. He ain't got to miss you because he never actually lost you. He just misplaced you. But let me tell you what really makes a man think. It's not the long text you sent. It's not the late night phone call where you poured your heart out. It's not the 100 chances you gave him when he barely earned one. Nah. You know what gets to a man? Silence. Nothing shakes a man more than losing access to a woman who used to give him everything. A woman who finally got tired. A woman who said, you don't get to treat me like I'm nothing and still expect me to stay present in your life. And when I say cut off access, I mean cut it all. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You can't be blocking him on your phone, but still checking his page every night. You can't be saying you're done, but still answering when he calls. He don't need to see you. He don't need to hear from you. He don't get to keep pieces of you just to soothe his guilt or feed his ego. No more just in case texts, no more checking in, no more being his comfort when he ain't yours. You want him to beg, you want him to realize what he had. Let him sit in the emptiness that he created. Let him see what his life feels like without your light. That man used to wake up to your good mornings. He used to hear your laugh, feel your warmth, taste your loyalty. Take all that back. Make him sit in the dark with the consequences of his actions. That's when it hits him. That's when he starts looking around at everybody else and realizing they ain't you. That's when he scrolls through your old pictures, not because he's nosy, but because he misses the energy that used to surround his life. But see, none of that happens if you keep giving him backdoor access. You can't be half gone. You got to disappear completely. Let him find out what silence sounds like. Let him figure out how heavy the weight of your absence really is. And I promise you it's heavy. It's real heavy. Because ain't nothing like the moment a man realizes that the woman who once picked up every time now don't even flinch when his name shows up. It's about boundaries. It's about saying you had a place in my life and you didn't value it, so now you no longer get to sit at that table. And if he's with someone else, even better, because trust me, now he's going to compare. And comparison ain't never going to go well for the one who replaced you. She might be new, but she ain't you. She don't know his soul like you did. She don't speak his heart language. She don't hold that history. And while he's trying to make it work over there, deep down he'll be thinking, why did I ever let her go? But by that point, you're already gone. Because cutting off access wasn't a game, it was you choosing peace. And that, my sister, is when the real shift begins. Let me tell y'all something. Every setback, every heartbreak, every letdown is a set up for a level up. You hear me? And the most dangerous thing a woman can do after a man walks out or fumbles her is level up in silence. You ever seen a woman glow up after the pain? That's a different kind of shine. That's not just lipstick and lashes. That's confidence, clarity, peace, and purpose all showing up at the same time like we here now. Ladies, when that man left or chose somebody else, you might have cried, you might have questioned yourself, you might have even doubted your worth for a minute. And that's okay, you human, you got a heart. But after the tears, after the silence, after the sting, you got to stand up. You got to look in that mirror and say, now it's me time. See, glowing up ain't just about how you look. It's about how you carry yourself. It's the way you walk in the room with your shoulders back and your head high. It's the way your energy says, I ain't bitter, I'm better. When you level up mentally, you stop letting people live rent-free in your head. You stop replaying old conversations. You stop thinking, what if I had done this? What if I had said that? You let all that go and you start thinking, what's next for me? That's the glow. That's the shift. You ain't dwelling on the past, you building a future. Then comes the emotional glow up. That's when you stop begging for closure. You stop needing explanations. You realize that healing don't come from them saying sorry. It comes from you forgiving yourself for staying too long, trusting too hard, or loving somebody who couldn't love you back right. You stop trying to prove that you were enough, and you start knowing you always were. And yeah, let's talk about that physical glow up too. Not for him, for you. You get your body right, not for revenge, but because you want to feel strong, alive, unstoppable. You start taking care of your skin, your hair, your health. You drink your water, mind your business, and suddenly that glow ain't just on your face. It's in your spirit. People start saying, girl, what's different about you? And you just smile because they don't know that you've been in the gym, in therapy, in prayer, in your bag, and out of his drama. Let me tell you something. A woman who levels up after heartbreak, she's unforgettable. She ain't walking around trying to get revenge. She is the revenge. She ain't looking to make him jealous. She's so focused on her growth, she don't even notice who's watching. But trust and believe, they watching. That man who lets you go, he sees it. Oh yeah, he sees the change. He sees the glow. He sees the confidence you used to wrap around him, now wrapped around yourself. And it eats at him, not because you became somebody else, but because you finally became who you were always meant to be. This level up, it's about elevation. It's about aligning with the woman you've always been under the pain. You start attracting better. You start thinking clearer. You stop tolerating less. And everything about you starts saying, I'm not the same woman you left. I'm better, wiser, stronger. That's when he starts to feel it, not just your absence, but your evolution. And here's what really gets him. He remembers the version of you who waited, who stayed, who begged. And now, he's looking at the version who moved on, who healed, who thrived. That contrast, that's what haunts him, but you ain't waiting for that moment. Because your level up wasn't about making him regret. It was about you remembering you were always the blessing. And now, you finally acting like it. Let me tell you what most folks don't understand. Silence is louder than any argument, any text message, any long emotional speech you could ever give. When a woman who used to speak, cry, and fight for a man suddenly goes quiet, that silence speaks volumes. That's when the shift happens. That's when the room gets cold. That's when a man realizes, hold up, something's different. Ladies, the most powerful thing you can do after a man breaks your heart, after he chooses somebody else, after he plays you like you were just an option, is to go quiet. Not bitter, not dramatic, not petty, silent. You don't need to tell him what he lost. Let your absence speak it for you. Stop thinking you got to explain yourself, prove your pain, or convince somebody to see your worth. You don't, and you never did. See, there's a part of a man's ego that feeds off attention, even the negative kind. You blowing up his phone, he feeling himself. You crying to him about how hurt you are, he knows he still has a hold on you. You posting subliminal messages online trying to get his attention, he already knows it's about him. And now, he ain't learning, he's enjoying the show, because as long as you talking, he knows you still emotionally tied. That means he can come back when he feels like it. That means he still has power. But the minute you stop talking, the minute you stop reacting, the minute you take your emotions off the table, that's when the game changes. See, silence forces a man to deal with himself. Now he got to sit with what he did without your explanations to comfort him. Now he got to replay the last conversation in his head without you begging for closure. Now he got to wonder where you are, what you feeling, who you talking to, because for once, you ain't making it easy for him to know. That's when the doubt creeps in. That's when he realizes he no longer has access. He starts scrolling through your social media trying to figure out what's going on. He checks the timestamps. He reads too deep into everything you do or don't do. That silence, that's the loudest, most uncomfortable space a man can sit in when he's used to your voice. And listen, your silence is not for revenge. It's not about being childish. It's about choosing peace over chaos. It's about no longer negotiating with someone who already decided to misunderstand you. It's about understanding that your energy is expensive, and if he couldn't appreciate it when it was given freely, he don't deserve it now. When you go silent, you shift the power dynamic, because now you're not the woman waiting for him to see your value. You're the woman who realized her own. You stop chasing a man who is running in circles, and instead you start walking in a straight line toward your healing. That silence, it ain't weakness, it's strength. It takes strength to hold back your words. When you got so much to say, it takes strength to not pick up the phone. It takes strength to choose dignity over desperation. And let me tell you something, nothing makes a man reflect harder than the absence of a woman who used to care. It'll hit him one night randomly, might be when he's alone, might be when things don't work out with the next one, might be when he hears a song that reminds him of you, and all he'll have is silence. No response, no comfort, no you, just an echo of what used to be. And in that moment, your silence, that's the loudest move you ever made. Now let me break it all the way down to you. One of the coldest, most beautiful moves a woman can ever make is to show up like she ain't pressed. Like she don't remember the pain, the lies, the disappointment, like she done healed so hard she forgot who hurt her. And I'm not talking about faking it. Nah, I'm talking about doing the real work behind the scenes. So when you walk in a room, it's not bitterness that shows up, it's brilliance. Not pain that walks in, it's peace. You want to really mess with a man who let you go, especially if he with somebody else now? Don't argue. Don't compete. Don't stalk. Just level up and show up like he never existed. Like his name don't ring no bells, like your life was never paused, waiting on his return. That's when he starts sweating. That's when he starts thinking, wait a minute, She good? Yes, you better be good. In fact, you better be better than good. In fact, you better be better than good. You see, what a lot of women don't realize is that a man expects you to break down after he's gone. He expects the tears. He expects the breakdowns with your friends, the late night rants, the emotional wreckage. And truth be told, sometimes you do go through all that. But he ain't supposed to see it. He's supposed to wonder. He's supposed to feel the sting of your silence and the chill of your absence. He's supposed to walk in that same room you just walked in and realize you're untouched. You're glowing, you're laughing, you're flourishing, and most of all, you're unbothered. Being unbothered ain't about pretending you never cared. It's about showing that you've grown past the point where his presence or his absence defines your peace. You can sit across from him at a dinner, walk by him at an event, bump into him at the store, and not flinch. You don't get nervous. You don't get loud. You don't act petty. You act like a queen, calm, composed, and too busy living her best life to engage in low energy drama. And you know what? That's the exact moment he starts feeling it. That smile you give that ain't for him. That outfit you wore that wasn't to make him jealous. That laugh that's real now because you finally learned to be happy without him. That's what makes his new situation feel shaky. That's what makes him start comparing because he remembers the version of you that used to cry, beg, and call. And now he's seeing a woman who walked through the fire and didn't just survive. She came back gold. Let me tell you, there's a power in being so secure, so healed, so focused on your purpose that you don't have time to even notice who's watching. When you carry yourself like you were never broken, it confuses everybody who swore they left you in pieces. And the best part, you didn't do it for revenge. You didn't do it to make them jealous. You did it for you. And that's why it works. You want to really make him second guess his decision? Don't speak his name. Don't ask about him. Don't post cryptic messages on your story. Just live loudly, proudly, and freely. Let your joy be your statement. Let your peace be your proof. Let your confidence be the echo that follows you everywhere you go. Because when a woman shows up like the heartbreak never even scratched her, like the storm passed and left her better, that's when every man who fumbled her starts asking the one question he can't shake, not lose her. And the answer, baby, she learned to show up unbothered. Let me tell you something that every woman needs to hear after heartbreak, after betrayal, after being replaced or overlooked. The best revenge is a life that don't include him. Not bitter, not broken, not dependent on his next move. A life so full, so rich in purpose, peace, and power that even the memory of him fades into the background like background noise on a good song. You don't even hear it no more because you're focused on the melody that is you. See, when a man walks out of your life or chooses someone else over you, it can feel like everything stops, like the future you imagined just hit a brick wall. But here's the truth. You still got breath in your body. You still got goals, dreams, purpose. Your identity is not tied to his presence. And baby, your worth didn't walk out the door when he did. Matter of fact, now that the distractions are gone, it's time to remember who you really are. You don't build a full life to impress him. You don't do it so he sees what he lost. You do it because you finally realize he was never the main character in your story to begin with. You were. You always were. And the second you start investing in yourself the way you invested in him, your whole world shifts. You start finding new routines, new passions, new peace. You make new friends, take new trips, start new businesses. And you wake up and realize, I'm not waiting on nobody to make me feel alive. I am life. When your days get full of purpose, there's no room left for pain. When your schedule is packed with self-care, ambition, and joy, he don't fit into the picture anymore. And here's the kicker. He'll feel it. Or he'll feel the difference. Because that woman who used to check up on him, she too busy checking things off her goals list now. That woman who used to revolve her world around him, she the center of her own universe now. She out there creating, growing, thriving, and he's on the sidelines. Watch. Let me tell you, there is no better feeling than waking up one day and realizing you ain't even think about it.